Green Beret Staff Sergeant Brian Black lost his life at the hands of ISIS in a 2017 ambush in Niger. When the mainstream media started covering the military's investigation of the ambush, Sergeant Black's wife, Michelle, noticed that the story wasn't adding up, and she took matters into her own hands. Her experience fighting back against these fake news stories inspired her to write her own book called Sacrifice, A Gold Star Widow's Fight for the Truth. Michelle Black joins us now. Michelle, happy Memorial Day. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Sean.
Sorry for your loss, first of all. Thank you for your husband's service and sacrifice. I want to ask you, though, when the report came out from this investigation into what happened, you took matters into your own hands, and you said that there were more questions to answers. One, what made you think that? And two, are you still searching for answers, or have you gotten them?
I feel I've gotten them now. The truth is, when we were briefed by AFRICOM, there were a lot of questions, a lot of things that didn't add up, such as we were being told that the team essentially went rogue. And I know my husband and anyone who knows Green Berets know that an entire team going rogue and acting like cowboys and defying authority, it doesn't happen. They also told us there was a second threat assessment before the team went to the border. I found out later there was not. There were so many inconsistencies. And then at the very end of it, General Waldhauser went on national media and said that all teams on the continent of Africa were performing optimally, but this team was not indicative of what special operators do. When I heard those words, they essentially completely dishonored the sacrifice that my husband and all of the men who fought and died alongside him made. And I couldn't let that stand.
You know, we talk a lot about the mainstream media on this show and their use of anonymous sources. And you said that anonymous sources were quoted in this BuzzFeed article that went against everything you knew about your husband. Are situations like these what inspired you to record straight conversations about your husband and write this book?
Well, honestly, from what I could tell when I was briefed, it sounded like the men's, because during the investigation, the men were interviewed by AFRICOM, and it sounded like what the men had to say was completely discounted and not used. The big inspiration for me was realizing that AFRICOM was not taking into account what the men said. And we're blaming lower level members when there were officers who were involved in the situation who were not being held accountable for their part. And really what General Waldhauser said in his brief was the final straw for me.